Well, can you hear me? Okay, I guess it's working. I thought for sure the sound wasn't going to work this morning. I didn't do something in the proper order, but I think it's working. Yeah, I think it's working. Sorry, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Man Cave. I'll tell you why I'm so flustered here in a second, and I'm so ashamed of myself I can't stand it. I absolutely just am ready to hang my head and cry. I am holding here a nearly pristine guitar that's going to be auctioned off for Gary Haven, the guitar player in our band. This is a Martin, and I didn't even have time to look up what it is. It is a, well, I don't know. It says custom. It's from the custom shop. It's a custom type made guitar. I think it's called I want to say triple odd 18 or double odd 18, something like that. I'll have to look all that up. But this is going to go up for auction before long. It's an expensive guitar. And it's got a great sound. It's got a matched bear claw top, which is really pristine. The back was pristine until this morning, and it's all my fault, and I am going to forego my entire commission because of it. There's a little tiny bump there now, which was caused by the back of this microphone. I did not see it, and I'm so sorry, Gary, but like I said, I'll forego my commission, and that way that'll pay for the little bump there. But that's the only scratch on the guitar, and I caused it. And I am just absolutely crying. I'm not kidding you. I can barely talk. I'm that upset about it. It's just one of those deals. I picked it up. I didn't think there was anything around me. I turned around, and the mic was right there, and I didn't know it was behind me. So my apologies. I really am flustered. I can barely talk. But anyway, this guitar is going up for auction. It is an absolute beautiful guitar. It did not have a scratch on it at all until this morning. And it's, yeah. I can barely talk. I'm serious. Can't play either. I'm so nervous. Anyway, it's a beautiful guitar. It sounds great. The camera is not showing off how beautiful that top is. It's like the most matched bear claw I've ever seen. It's a ribbon mahogany that's hard to see in this light here also. It's a beautiful guitar. It really is. It's got a custom type binding on it. I think it's it's an imitation tortoiseshell binding. They call it a faux binding, faux tortoiseshell, but it really looks like tortoiseshell. And the pick guard, let's see, there's a tuner in here. Now, I don't know if that's built in or if that was Gary, so I don't know if the tuner's going or if that's part of it. I haven't had time to research the guitar at all. And anyway, it's got those kind of machine heads. It seriously is one fine guitar. It was even finer before this morning. I'm going to lay it down here on this soft carpet very gently and apologize one more time. I am so sorry. Now you know why I don't work on instruments anymore. It's just getting ridiculous. I just can't believe it. Other than that, I think I have a decent vlog for you this morning. If I can pull myself together. You can't know how that makes you feel when you do something that bad. First thing I had to do this morning was a few chores because Sue's out of town. She's been gone since Monday. And anyway, I'm on chore duty this morning. Sue has been in Branson with Alex and Jennifer, the young folks that come out and help us every once in a while on the farm. she's been there since Monday evening. And so anyway, gotta let her quackers out. That's all we got left. No chickens now. Just 2 ducks. There they are. They're gonna follow me out of here. Sadie, you better quit. She gets too excited. And now I've got to feed her horses, or her horse, I should say, that's in the stall. There goes the ducks. They head straight for the creek or the pond. Lightning was really sick a month or 2 ago, and Sue thought she was going to lose her, but she's been nursed back to health. The green fescue grass and all that is bad for a horse, especially an old horse. While we're here, might as well show you these bushes. These are old time bushes. And I'm not sure what you call them. I forget. I used to know the name of them. I've just forgotten. I don't know if it's gladiolas or what they are. I'm sure somebody will know and say in the comments. But I don't remember. Sue would know, of course. But they're real pretty. You can see they're in full bloom right now. And let's get the chore done so we can get back up there and get ready for the vlog. Give the horse a flake of this alfalfa hay. This is high quality hay. She's probably overeating, and Sue has a real problem cutting back on the food. I think one of these flakes would really be enough, but she instructed me to give her 2, one of each kind of hay. And then I have some medicine to give them. And this is a Wednesday morning hay, or Wednesday morning feed. This has medicine in it, and I've got to get in there and do that. I lock this. Sue doesn't usually keep it locked, but with my luck, if I don't lock it, it would probably be a problem. So we'll go back here in the back. You won't be able to see in here, I don't think. It's dark in here. Really dark in here, in fact. She will clean that out. And anyway, I don't know if I have to lock it, but I'm going to at least lay that around there. That'll make her think it's locked for one thing, and keep it with a little bit of friction just in case she tries to slide it. The pony, you have to lock it because the pony's smart. He will move it over with his head and get out. Boy, the old Martins are still making a lot of racket. Can you hear them? Yeah, they're sure making a noise. Well, let's get up there and get this vlog ready. Yeah, well, I'm not much on the animal thing anymore. I'd just soon not have to deal with all that, but those are all, for the most part, Sue's animals. When you grew up the way I did, you would probably understand. Pretty much, I don't know that I got beat every day, but plenty of days for not doing something properly with a horse or a dog or something. So it's just, for me, I can't think of anything I like less than dealing with feeding and taking care of animals. Just because of it, of the way I grew up. You have to understand, it wasn't like your normal household that had 1 or 2 dogs or 1 or 2 other animals. He had 30 head of horses and, 10 to 30 dogs at a time, and I had to take care of all of it. It was pretty much my responsibility from the time I was really able to carry a bucket of grain, So, I couldn't even begin to count the number of incidents. Anyway, moving on from that, we got a really cool Windows trick for you. So if you have a Windows machine, you're going to want to know about this trick. Eddie, our super fan Eddie, sent this to me, and I've tried to film it this morning. I don't know how well I did, but this is a trick that I think you guys will be happy to know. And it's something you can show your grandkids and show them that you know something they don't know. And I bet they don't know this, by the way. So here it is. Friends, Eddie Turner says that there's a real cool Windows trick that you can use to capture a portion of a screen. Let me show you this. It's pretty cool. I'm going to have to do this one-handed holding the camera. So you hold the Shift key down, the Window key down. See, that's the Window key. Now this only works on a Windows machine, you understand. All right, so you hold the Shift key, the Window key, and the S key all at the same time. Notice the screen dimmed. I should have had the camera up here so you could see that. The screen actually went dim, and it is presently dim. The camera probably doesn't show that. Now you can highlight the section of the screen that you would like to capture. See how it's highlighted there? And that put that in memory. And so like if you went to a different program, like this program, and I need to add a page here for my outline this morning, but we'll just paste the captured part right there. The Control key and the V to paste. So I'll do that while you look at the screen here. And see, it pasted that part of that screen right there in this program. So you can see that it's a very helpful deal. There's Timothy Werblow and Dottie Hildebrand's comments this morning. So you can see how that would be very helpful. And I want to say thanks to Eddie Turner for showing me that trick. The only problem is I just have to remember to use it when I need it. Yeah, that's a very helpful trick, I think. There's times when people say, could you send me a copy of that or a picture of that or something, and you've got it on your screen, but you don't know how to get it to them. Well, you could easily use that trick. Just take your mouse, you hold the button down, and you slide across and, paint the area that you want to do. And then you let go of the button, and it will automatically capture that section. You don't have to do anything special. You just literally take the mouse, hold the button down, scroll across the area you want. Start in the upper left corner, go down to the lower right corner of what you're wanting to get, and then let go of the button, and it automatically puts it into memory. Then you just go into whatever program, like your email or whatever, and then you press Control V to paste. And put your cursor where you want to paste it, of course, in that program. And it'll paste it right there. And it's pretty cool. So that's a pretty handy little trick there. Just thought I'd pass that on because it was passed on to me. And anyway, you can practice that, practice it and get it all ready and then show your grandkids. Did you know you could do this? Your grandkids will go, wow, Grandma, that's pretty cool. The anchors are, I went and got those last night after our jam at Dickey's. I'll try to remember to tell you about the jam at Dickey's too. But anyway, here's what the anchors amount to. Thought I'd stop off here and show you that the lawnmower's parked outside my door for a reason. It's dying sporadically. It's very sporadic. It just dies. It instantly dies. It's like there's some kind of a switch or something that gets flipped. It's not a fuel problem, I don't think. I think it's some kind of a spark problem, meaning that there's either some safety switch that's going off erratically or something that's just killing the engine, because it starts right back up and runs again for a while, and then it'll do it again. Those are the hardest problems to find. Thought while I was here, I'd show you what concrete anchors look like. I'm sure there's plenty of folks that have no idea what a concrete anchor is. Might as well show you the specialized drill bit for that too. I'll come over here to the workbench where there's a little bit more light. Maybe you can see it. Let's see if we can open that up. Yep, it opens up pretty easy. This is a concrete anchor. You first have to use a drill like this that will drill down through concrete. It's a specialized drill. You have to have a pretty heavy-duty hammer drill. Then you drill right, basically you drill right through the wood and everything. Now, these don't drill through wood very well, believe it or not. They'll drill through concrete, but they won't drill through wood. It's because of this specialized tip. These tips don't cut very well. They are designed to break and chip a hole out. Well, anyway, so I drill through the wood with a wood bit, then drill through the concrete with this. Then you drive this down. You actually drive it in like that. You drive it down in the hole. Then this sleeve expands. As you start pulling it back out of the hole, this sleeve expands and on this cone shape. And this makes it really tight down in the concrete hole and it won't pull out. These are not real long. These are, I think, 4.25 inch. I probably should have got 4.5 inch. It's only a inch and a half thick wood that it's going through. But this will be fine. I mean, it's not going to be a problem. Once you get that down in there, that wood's not going anywhere. Just thought I'd show you that. I'm sure there's lots of you that have never even seen a concrete anchor or had one in your hand. I can't say that. I've had a whole lot of those in my hand and done a whole lot of building projects that required them.
Yeah, and I noticed during that I spelled the word hole incorrectly. I know how to spell hole, H-O-L-E, but I put a W in front of it there. I was in a hurry, Anyway, that's a bigger project than it should be. I mean, I've got to put in quite a few anchors out there this morning, and that's going to take a while. I'm a little concerned about the anchors going into the wall that's standing. Quite honestly, the wall on the right, where it connects to the wall, is perfectly plumb. But the wall on the left seems to be, so the wall's slightly twisted or something, and it's leaning out slightly at the top up there. There's like an inch gap at the top on that side. And I haven't checked it thoroughly to see how plumb the wooden wall is yet, but I think the wooden wall is fairly plumb, and therefore I'm pretty sure it's all in the concrete. So I don't know how I'm going to fill that gap. Probably just have to, anchor it about halfway up and call it good, and then just fill that gap with some kind of filler or something. It's not going to be perfect, but I'll do the best I can. Let me tell you about Dickey's last night. We had a good jam there. There was a medium-sized crowd. I'm going to say 25 people or so were there, and worked out really well. I talked to the band about the situation with ASCAP, and they said, well, if the owner will still pay his half, that they just want to go ahead and keep it going. So that's what we're going to try to shoot for. I didn't get to talk to the owner, so I don't know for sure that he'll do that, but I think he will. I think it brings money in for him in the long run, so I think he's up for it, but I don't know that for sure. But right now, as far as I know, the Dickey's thing's going to continue on. I want to say a real heartfelt thank you to everybody for all the support, for the vlogs, for the training especially, and for the live concerts, the super chats, and the PayPal donations. I honestly have been so busy I hadn't looked. I tell you guys, and I mean this sincerely, money is not a driving factor with me. It's not at all. Zero, none, not any. You couldn't motivate me with money. You couldn't bribe me with money. There's just nothing that money will buy that's related to this guy right here. But on the other hand, I say that it's just wonderful to get the kind of support that I'm getting. And I wanted to say a special thank you to all of those who have been supporting me on the training, because it's really working out very well for me financially. And I'm hoping that you're getting the benefit out of it that you think that you feel like you're getting a good benefit out of it. And there was a couple of people specifically that really, really stepped up to the plate. And I don't want to embarrass them necessarily, but Ben, I just want to say thank you. That was just awesome. And anyway, let's move on. Let's go into the comments. I'm still so upset I can barely talk. Let's see. John Pepper, David Tharp, Eddie Turner. Let's see. Moving on down. Looking for question marks. Dottie says, good morning, everyone. Hope you all have a blessed day. Praying for the families. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. Yeah, and all that hurricane stuff, my gosh, that looks like a huge bad deal. Now, I hope it doesn't tear up everything here in the United States as well. I feel so sorry for those people. Can you imagine? Most of those people that are affected probably don't have much to begin with, and everything gets destroyed like that, and likely they don't have any insurance help or anything like that as well. So it's just terrible. We don't know how good we have it. Dottie's praying for us. Thank you, Dottie, and the hurricane people. Let's see. Caroline won't be with us today. She's being shot in a movie. Wow, isn't that cool? That's cool. Christia Thomason, good morning from North Carolina. How dare someone schedule a meeting here at work during the vlog hour? I'll enjoy it later. Okay. Wayne Blitz. The wheat all cut, straw all baled, now getting ready for AS or as. Okay, something got cut off there. Second crop, yeah, of hay. Yeah, we most of the time don't get a second cutting here because of the heat. It just doesn't grow well enough. But some years you can here. It depends on a lot of factors. But some people get a second cutting here, quite often actually. Our ground is not that great, and we don't take care of it like we ought to in terms of fertilizing and all that. But that makes the fines that I find in the ground with my metal detector better because it's not all fertilized. That fertilizer, the chemicals that go into that eat up a lot of the metals and really mess up the coins and different things like that. So at least we've got pristine coins coming out of the ground for the most part. Unless they're the new coins that just disintegrate just by dropping a raindrop on them. David Tharp, my dentist said I should have a crown, and I was like, you're right. Yeah. Let's see. We'll crown you king of the dad jokes. Paul Linear, true. Okay, he's moving on down here. Let's see. David Tharp, my poor calendar, its days are numbered. David Tharp, try it and see if you turn the word gullible upside down, it looks like a cat. If you turn the word gullible upside down, it looks like a cat. I guess now am I supposed to turn my head around upside down to look at that? Sidecar Bob, sounds fine to me. I guess you're talking about the microphones and stuff. Yeah, after I bumped that guitar, I was so flustered I didn't know what to do. I just, oh God, I'm sick over it. Let's see. Sidecar Bob says it looks more like a dog to me. Brian from Elgin, Illinois. Rod Wentler. Jerry, I dropped a capo on my D41 years ago. I know how you feel. Life goes on. Yep. Not much you can do about it. You can't undo it, just one of them deals. Only thing I can do is, make it right by just skipping my commission. And then that way at least, that'll more than pay for the little dent. But unfortunately, it's got a dent in it now for whoever buys it. Bummer. Jeff Puris, I'm sorry that happened to the guitar, Jerry. I've been there in the automotive world. It is truly a sick feeling, and it won't go away. You got that right. Dottie Hildebrand, I feel for you, Jerry. I dropped my mandolin on my little toe getting it out of the car. Luckily, it was in a case. The toe didn't like it at all, black and blue. Ouch. Yep, I've done stuff like that. Ben Boyd, the guitar now has a story behind it. Considering the ding, the guitar, I think it increases the value and certainly doesn't decrease it. Well, thank you, Ben. I appreciate the kind words. Sidecar Bob, our late son Matt taught me to use a lot of keyboard shortcuts. Since he died, I've continued learning them, especially for new software. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your son passing. That's terrible. But these Windows, these tricks like that, there's tons of them out there, but that one there specifically, I could have used that so many times in my life, I couldn't even tell you how many times I could have used that. Now I just got to remember that I know how to do it. That's the problem now, is just remembering the tools that you have. That's the way it is down in my shop. I go down there and I go, oh, I forgot I had this. Russ Allen, what year was the Martin guitar made? I don't think it's very old. I think it's only a few years old, but I'll have to get all that detail. It's got everything original. It's got a six latch case. It's a very nice case. It's, like I said, it's from the custom shop. It's not your standard off the shelf, off the rack guitar. It's a super fine guitar. It's worth every bit of the money that I'm sure Gary paid for it, and it's probably increased in value. In fact, it's a nice guitar. It really is. Sounds good. It looks good, except for one little spot right there. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. David Tharp. I knew a Frenchman who was viciously attacked by a cat. His name is Claude. Daddy Hildebrandt, Bill Mumbo, hope your foot will do well. Prayers. Okay. Let's see. Russ Allen, are you no longer planning to build your water wheel house with 2 stories? Yes, I'm still building it with 2 stories. That you just got to build the first story first and get it all in place, and then you start building on top of it. So in the next day or two, hopefully by this weekend, I'll get the ceiling of the first floor and the floor of the second floor, completed. That's all one floor if you can't make out what I'm trying to say there. But anyway, I'll get those trusses or floor joists set in place and get the plywood on that, and then I'll start building the wall surround for the upper deck. John Warren, since tomorrow is a holiday, will you have the mandolin lesson that evening? Well, let's see. Where are we at here? Tomorrow is the 4th of July. That's kind of a bad night, isn't it? Man. Yeah, that's bad. Because especially with I guess I'll still just do it. You can always watch it later, I guess. I don't know. I didn't even think about that. What do you guys think we should do? Should we do it tonight? And the problem with that is there'll be a lot of people that won't know that we're doing it tonight. Should we do it Friday night? Or should we just go ahead and do it tomorrow? Let me know what you think. I don't know. I didn't even realize it was the 4th of July tomorrow. Sorry about that. But thanks for bringing it up. Just to add to my frustration. Oh, my gosh. Glenn Woods. I can cut wood just by looking at it. Well, you ought to come here then and cut me a few loads. Russ Allen, here in Iowa, we almost always get at least 3 cuttings, and sometimes we get 4. Wow! I never even heard of such a thing. I've never heard of that. Here, we're lucky if we get 2. Glenn Woods, I know you don't believe me, but I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Okay, I get it now. Gary Hayden. Jerry, thanks so much for sharing your knowledge freely. You are a treasure. Well, thank you, Gary. Zappa. Jerry, maybe you should put your signature nest to the ding. Signature nest. Nest. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe that's a typo. I don't know what that means. Bill Webb, I hate to be a pain, but we still aren't getting the invoice for our stay in the rental retreat. Maybe you can use the computer trick to send it to my email or private message. Well, okay, Bill, I'm glad to know that, but I definitely sent it. You know what, though? After I sent it, now I absolutely know I typed it like you sent it to me, but it had a different lady's name on that. It came up, and I thought, well, does Ramona use an alias or something? You know, I mean, I don't know. It was weird. I knew there was something strange about it, but I typed it exactly like you said it, and I double, triple checked it, especially once I saw that other name pop up. I thought, why did that other name pop up? It's so weird. Well, we'll get to the bottom of it, Bill. Like I told you, money is not important to me. We'll figure it out. Dottie Hildebrandt, will there be a vlog tomorrow? Yes, there will be a vlog tomorrow, because really the holiday isn't until tomorrow evening. Not really. I get it. Okay. Ronald Todd, Jerry, I believe you could fix that ding where you couldn't even see it. Well, yeah, maybe. You can also go the exact opposite way on a ding like that. I mean, it really can. It can get so much worse that you're better off just leaving it alone most of the time on that kind of a ding. Now, if the finish was off of it, but see, that's still got the finish there, and you can seriously make it 10 times worse in a heartbeat. So you're better off just leave it alone in a case like that. At least that's been my experience. Ask me how I know. Rod Wentler, Jerry, I think you should put the lesson off for a week. Well, I hate to do that, but because I know people are waiting for that next lesson. Doggone it. Friday sounds good. Many will be in church tonight. Hopefully, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's why I didn't do it on Wednesday to begin with. Friday is good for a mandolin lesson. Stick to Thursday, Jerry. Okay. Russell, you could do it Friday night. That way everyone can know about it. Yeah, you know what? I think Friday night's the best. I think we'll do it Friday night. And the reason I'm going to say that is because I can put out some little temporary thing that just says lesson canceled due to holiday, or lesson changed to Friday due to holiday. We'll see you tomorrow night or something like that. And I'll put like like it's a live vlog coming up. I'll just put it out there as a notice like that. And hopefully people that are wanting to tune in will see it and then come back on Friday. I think that's probably the best is to do it Friday evening. I know Friday evenings are busy too for a lot of people, but at least those who really want to get there can get there. And that way we're not putting it off a whole week. Zappa, next thing to ding. Well, thanks. I don't know what that means either, but it's, let's see. Gordon Bartlett, how do you plan to stop the water seepage through the stone wall? Well, that's a good question. I don't know that either. Dottie Hildebrandt, I vote for lessons tomorrow. Okay. Well, I've kind of already said we'll do it Friday. I think we'll just stick with that because I think that's probably the best overall. Because I'm sure there's a ton of people, just like on our live concert with the presidential debate. Now, lots of people, 9 times out of 10, people are going to say, I wouldn't watch that, but yet it certainly knocked our second half way down. It didn't, that's never happened like that before. I don't think we were that bad that people just tuned out. I think they were watching the presidential debate. And so like tomorrow night with the with the 4th of July, there's a lot of people that aren't doing anything, like myself. I'm not going to go do anything special. Used to all the time, but I'm not tomorrow night. And but I know a lot of people will want to go watch a fireworks show or something, or even watch it on television or something. And so I think it's better off if we just wait till Friday. Let's see. Moving on down here. Let's see. I thought it scrolled on me, but I can see where I'm at now, I think. Dottie Hillebrand says, you can put Flex Seal on the wall. Yeah, I'm sure I could do something like that. I want to put something on it that won't show. What I'm hoping to do is maybe figure out where the leak is and just put mortar in it and cover it with mortar. And that way, it'll blend in. It won't be some obvious patch or repair or something like that. The other option I had was to spray it with some sort of a silicone sealer. And honestly, I don't have any faith in that stuff. That's why I know that that's out there, and I know it would work for 99% of the people in the world, but it won't work for me. It's just like a waterbed. That's why I've never owned one. I know it would work for 99% of the people in the world, but it won't work for me. It would leak. I guarantee you the first day I have it would start leaking. And that's just the way it is with my luck, and there's no way I would ever get one because of that. And so those are the kinds of things that I know don't work for me, like, using silicone spray. It might work for everybody else on the planet, but it won't work for me. And you'd think I'm making these things up, but like I told you about these drills, those step drills that drill, big. They drill small and then they get bigger and bigger and bigger, like a cone shape, and they'll drill through sheet metal. I've tried 4 or 5 of those. I see people doing it left and right on YouTube all the time. I mean, because that's all I watch. I watch building construction, sheet metal work. I watch all those kinds of things. And I see everybody and their brother doing it. It won't work for me. I can't get it to work. I've tried 5 or 6 different bits. None of them will cut through anything. Even the ones that say they'll cut through everything. They don't work for me. The same way with those hole saws. I see people sawing through 1/2-inch steel with those things. It won't work for me. It just won't work. Don't know why, just won't. Those are the kinds of things that happen to me that just don't happen to everybody else. I don't know why that is. It's just that way. You can choose to believe what you want, but if you came here and saw it, you'd go, why doesn't that work? It works for me. It just doesn't work for me. So I don't know. Didn't mean to get off on that little weird rant, but seriously, I have that kind of luck. It's so crazy, it's ridiculous. Any word on the new desk? No, and I haven't heard back from them. I sent them all the paperwork and everything, so I'm hoping they're shipping it, but I don't know. I need it because this thing is tiny. It's literally tiny. They make a gray Flex Seal. Okay, well, I'll keep it in mind in case, that the mortar idea doesn't work. I kind of think, because the rest of the wall's not seeping, I just think it's probably just a direct little hole there. Because, you know how I built it. I just stack rock in there and then dump mortar in around it. Well, obviously, there's probably a spot there that didn't get sealed real good with mortar. It's probably all it really amounts to. It's probably a very simple fix. It's just finding the exact spot to fix is the problem. And, anyway, I don't think it's a big deal. It's just getting it done. At least that's what I think. Let's see. Ronald Todd. Hydraulic cement. Yeah. There is such a thing, and I have used it in the past, and perhaps I'll use it for this. You never know. I don't know, guys. I'm so flustered today, I don't even know which ends up. 158 viewers. I think we're going to call it there. I'm going to go out there and get those anchors in. I'm going to finish up my paperwork from yesterday. I didn't get through it all, and I spent most of the day yesterday doing paperwork, and I still didn't get through it all. And I got to say, with all, again, heartfelt thanks. A lot of it's due to you guys because I had to go through all the different contributions and stuff, and there was a lot of them, and I just didn't get through all of it. And it's it's a good and a bad thing. It's a bad and a good thing. It's mostly good, but it just took a lot of time to get through all that paperwork. I do report everything. I know that a whole lot of stuff could go under the table, but that's not how I fly. I just go ahead and report it and take my lumps. Let's see. Outboard Tinkerer. Hello, Jerry. How about a stainless steel baffle for the leak? Find a junked refrigerator door at the dump. Yep. Yeah, I just want to keep it, as clean looking as I can, though. I really don't want to add anything if I can avoid it. Bill Webb, you really don't realize how small that desk is until you see it. It's not much bigger than a wooden TV tray. That's true. It's really very small. In fact, my monitor sticks out 2 inches on the left and 4 inches on the right. I mean, the monitor is that much bigger than the desk. Of course, it is a big monitor. I'll admit that, but it's not that big. I mean, it's not like huge. Well, it is actually kind of huge. We'll see you tomorrow with something else. Thanks for being here. And again, thanks so much for all the support. Can't tell you thanks enough.